Welcome to GrimVLog, video blog, update, communion with the masses, embracement of the plebes. I guess enough sacrifices have been committed over the past 8 days to justify this, actually it's 9, communion with you all once more. If you haven't noticed, I did in fact shave like I said I would last week. This is this is 8 days of growth. I think it's doing pretty good. But there are cheeks there. There's actually skin under all of that hair and carpet and fur. I actually had a jest request, I think, to collect all the hair and put it in a bag and offer it for sale to the highest bidder. It's actually still laying in my bathroom trash can. That doesn't get touched at all. So it's still there at the bottom, and nothing's on top of it. Most of it is, so they got to wash down the sink. So I guess if you want to bid for that, that's cool. This thing should be recording and working, I hope. I don't trust technology. Anyway, welcome to the party, everybody. I am still Grimith, I think. I could be wrong. And I'm coming to you all not for any reason in particular. Once again, I don't exactly have much to discuss. There is one point I want to get to, but I'm going to save that at the end. A few hours ago, I just uploaded and recorded Romance of the Three Kingdoms 10 for the PC, personal computer, really, for Windows. It's partially translated, unfortuitously. I like making fun of it, since so many people like to make fun of it. I mean, if you guys are going to have fun, why not I have fun? Without my speech problems. Anyway, yeah, unfortunately, although I can work my way around Japanese, it's not really that convenient to record. I could get the technology and hardware to record it from my PlayStation 2, but I'm not. You guys want to play it, you'll just have to, you want to see it in action, you'll have to go searching on the internet. I'm sure somebody, somewhere, has a video of it. I mean, the Romance of the Three Kingdoms games can't be that unpopular to, somebody's got to have a video let's play of it, right? Somewhere. If not, then there are screenshots, and you can definitely see the duels and the debates in action. Even if I did showcase those, they'd be really difficult to understand, since it's not really all translated. That's kind of, yeah. It's definitely that. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 11, though, was officially translated by Koei into English for the PC. It took them a few years, but they did. As a matter of fact, I've received word that people in the Koei forums are still modifying it and everything, like unofficially, which is really cool. They figured out how to tinker with all that stuff. I haven't looked at it myself, but the game is still receiving fan love, which is nice. It's certainly something that the older games can't really get. I really enjoy the Romance of the Three Kingdoms games, despite their complexity, and I really enjoyed the novel. SKS, what is his YouTube name? IOAZ81, keeps bludgeoning me upside the head like a history teacher to make me watch Redcliffe, which came out a few years ago. I noticed it at the time. One of my friends on the internet a few years ago had pointed it out. He's really interested in the RTK series as well, but I never got around to looking at it. I forgot it was directed by John Woo, and I was like, whoa, SKS, I don't know if I can handle the strain of John Woo. I am going to consider watching that, though. It follows the records of the Three Kingdoms, or the record of the Three Kingdoms, I forget the exact name, but that was released in the 3rd century, and it is far more steeped in historical fact, where, it doesn't involve magic, and it doesn't portray Cocoa Pebbles as a resounding evil jackass, which the novel does. And since the games get their their basis from the novel. Yeah. But it would, supposedly it's to help me with name pronunciation, and, you know, like SKS, you're from Kentucky. I just said Tucky, yes. You're from Tucky, what the fuck? Stupid Commonwealth. Yeah, there's that. Of course, I haven't forgotten about, I've still got Daggerfall, Heroes of Might and Magic 2, and Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4. I mean, I'm alternating those. I think I've released quite a few videos, so you folks don't have any room to complain. I've done quite a bit of uploading. I think I've definitely made up for all the months of my absence due to my father's ailment last year. Speaking of which, they are actually back home. My father is no longer hospitalized for the moment. It's been touch and go. That's what happens whenever you recover or are attempting to recover from as many ailments as he suffered from. I ended that sentence in a preposition. Fuck. Shit happens. Although I have time to study and correct the textual English, spoken English, it's just there's so many colloquialisms, and you get so lazy with speech that things just slip, and you're like, oh, fuck. If I had been an English major instead, perhaps I'd care more, but my English major friends at college, they didn't fucking care. Strive to be average, Grimith, B+. It's not really average, dude. Shut up. Yeah, good times. But I haven't forgotten about those, and I also haven't forgotten about the Mac Venture games. Only one I've got left to do is Deja Vu 2, and I could showcase, like, the Mac versions of, like, you know, the Mac versions of the Mac Venture games. But other than that, I mean... And, you know, I've been doing some stuff on the side, like 10-Yard Fight and Tecmo Bowl and Nintendo World Cup, which is insanely entertaining. Incredibly so. That's really fun to watch. It's so crazy. The super kicks and everything, which make the figures go whee! It's good times. And I've definitely received some positive feedback on those as well. Understandably, not many people watched it, but, you know, not what folks are interested in, seeing that little game. But again, they've only been up for less than a week, so... And I'll expect all of my fucking... What do I have? Like, 1,163 subscribers, or what the fuck ever? There's no guarantee that number will be accurate by the time I upload this video, so, yeah, it keeps going up, which, I guess that's cool. Like I said in last week's video, it's whatever. It's convenient for you folks. The views, though, and the comments, though, are cool. As long as the comments make sort of sense. I mean, when I get comments on the early Liberal Crime Squad videos, or the Master of Orion ones, it's really hard for me to give you a feedback in return. So if you were expecting that, you might not get it. It's challenging. It's if you don't get, I mean, if I get a timestamp, I can definitely make a reply there. But otherwise, you're just going to be flying solo. I guess if you want to give me advice on how to make the game work, or what I should have done, or what you think I should have done, I mean, that's cool. It's your freedom, and you have the right to do that, since I had the right to upload that video. But if you're expecting something in reply, I don't know what to tell you. Fun fact, my first video recording thing got so many views so quickly. YouTube's like, hey, you want to enable revenue sharing? And I'm like, no, because you're going to look at the rest of the videos on my channel, you're going to be like, this is, no. Yeah. I need to release more original material. I think maybe if I just keep milking these things, maybe I'll just do a video recording thing with my camera every day. And if I did that, you guys probably would not view it that much at all, and it would be totally worthless. Maybe I could talk about current affairs. Maybe I could do sit-down comedy. Maybe I could somehow be a joker. And no, I don't think so. That's a terrible idea, and yes, it is. I like to think I'm more stable right now. I'm now making a conscious attempt to focus on the camera lens, since I noticed that in most of my my first recording, I kept tilting my head towards my computer. Comfort zone. No, not that I was nervous or anything. It was just, I'm not used to talking to my digital camera. What do I have to talk about, since I'm so docile and everything? I guess I could talk about what I've been reading recently. I ordered this a few days ago. It's, The Hunters of Dune, otherwise known as Dune 7. It was the book. Okay, Frank Herbert did the first 6 books of the Dune series, but he died before he could get around to this. His son, along with Kevin J. Anderson, did a whole bunch of work on the backstory of Dune, and then did this book. I've read and owned the first 6 for quite some time, but I finally got around to picking this up. It was quite enjoyable, and also, I mean, it's not as enjoyable as the first ones, but I think it's because the story's expanded so much, and everything's gotten so crazy. It's just not as much focus on the folks that I'd like focus to be on. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I have a deal that gives me these books for pretty cheap in hardcover, which is awesome. As in, I've ordered other books from the same thing as well, since I've already had the first 6. Fahrenheit 451, and I like to read dystopian novels, because I'm a depressing son of a bitch. No, it's more like, so many people like to coddle and hide from true literary evil, and avoid that in their movies and their video games, because it's so around us and it pervades us, but confronting that it can be rewarding in itself, to recognize it, especially when it can be ultimately defeated. I find some of the most rewarding games I've ever played, particularly RPGs like Final Fantasy 3/6 with Kefka. How Kefka absolutely ruined the world. He turned it into the world of ruin by manipulating the 3 statues, the goddesses of magic, and eviscerating and totally obliterating the landscape. He was truly the essence of somebody who embraced evil for the fucking hell of it. And it's hard, as somebody who has DM'd and GM'd for a long time, it's hard, I understand, to make a convincing villain like that. Because that chaotic evil tendency, it's just aggravating. It's like, you have to really make it convincing, otherwise it just seems stupid. Like stupid evil, or stupid chaotic, or some dumb shit like that. But Kefka really pulled it off. Or I guess, the creators of Kefka really pulled it off. And by the end of that game, I really wanted to throttle that son of a bitch. And I did. It was exceptionally rewarding. But I guess that's part of why I love playing the villains so much. Villains really they really make or break a story. If you do not have a convincing, powerful villain, then what the fuck? I guess that's why I've always liked to embrace the dark side, because I think I'm capable of making dark and malevolent villains. I can see, laddie. Yes. Alrighty. Yeah, deteriorating eyesight. Too many nights of playing computer games in the dark in my youth, combined with optical defects in my genes. Genes? Yeah, I'm a pant man. Pants. Pants on the ground? No. I like those. So does my grandfather. Oh boy. Why did that matter? Why was that relevant? It wasn't, folks. I just felt like talking and sharing with you, connecting in a level that I'm not used to connecting with, particularly people on the internet. We can establish meaningful relationships, So many people these days, they just don't understand what can happen with a set of fiber optic wires, but lots of magic, folks. The future's changing. I think. I don't know. I haven't consumed any of the Spice Essence as of late, so... Tonight's a good night. I'm actually pleased, and I'm not angry at anything, which is a novel concept. I don't feel like raging or slaughtering anybody. But I do have one thing to announce. I'm actually going to... I have something prepared, and this is actually for SKS. I plan on starting to record a new video series, another Let's Get On With It adventure of sorts, one that will be not necessarily blind, but I've never before played the game. It's true, I've read the instruction manual for it, and I've watched a Let's Play of it, but I've never before played it. And it's a classic strategy game. And I have something prepared. It's a document that will relate to myself in the game. Because I plan on doing a little bit of role-playing in it. A smidgen. A hair. So many years of expertise and practice of it. All of my Dungeons & Dragons rule books and manuals. And a Warhammer one, too. Why not? So yes, this is called the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, approved by the National Assembly of France on August 26, 1789. This document was based upon the Declaration of Independence and shares similar themes, but it has its differences. For those of you who are not interested in me rambling like you got to the points in Master of Orion Let's Play when I started doing the speeches due to corrupted sound quality, by all means, feel free to stop watching the video if you've not done so already. But this is a dedication for SKS, and I'm strongly hoping he gets the reference, because I'm gonna love rubbing that son of a bitch's face. There's so much energy that I feel, the glow and aura. I know I've lost my focus on reading for a moment, because for so many years, bringing out the laughter in me, the deep bellow, the guttural, villainous, malevolent, vile, evil, cruel, and disdainful, gloating laugh has been a pleasurable experience for me. It comes naturally, and I love to embrace it and relish it. Now, if I may, I'm going to do something that I used to do back in school. It was a way I used to keep the bullies away by making them think that I was crazy. Because I got, many kids get bullied, if not all of you. And you have to find your own way to defend against it. For me, it was up here. So... I maintain control of the volume. It could have been worse. That was a very pleasurable experience for me, everyone. That's right, I just had a pleasurable experience on camera. And you could see my face. You couldn't see my hands, but they're clean. Not my soul, but my hands are. So, if I may, continue. I'll be reading this in English and not in French, since I have far more experience with the English language, and well, I can carry on a conversation in French. I'm not fluent, and I would rather not stumble and slaughter this. Hold on, I gotta get my heart rate down. That really excites me. Shut up. Okay. I'm really a good, calm, and professional reader, I swear. I promise. The representatives of the French people, organized as a national assembly, believing that the ignorance, neglect, or contempt of the rights of man are the sole cause of public calamities and of the corruption of governments, have determined to set forth in a solemn declaration the natural, unalienable, and sacred rights of man, in order that this declaration, being constantly before all the members of the social body, shall remind them continually of their rights and duties, in order that the acts of the legislative power, as well as those of the executive power, may be compared at any moment with the objects and purposes of all political institutions, and may thus be more respected. And lastly, in order that the grievances of the citizens, based hereafter upon simple and incontestable principles, shall tend to the maintenance of the Constitution and redound to the happiness of all. Therefore, the National Assembly recognizes and proclaims, in the presence and under the auspices of the Supreme Being, the following rights of man and of the citizen. Articles 1. Men are born and remain free and equal in rights. Social distinctions may be founded upon only the general good. 2. The aim of all political associations is the preservation of the natural and imprescriptible rights of man. These rights are liberty, property, security, and resistance to oppression. 3. The principle of all sovereignty resides essentially in the nation. No body nor individual may exercise any authority which does not proceed directly from the nation. 4. Liberty consists in the freedom to do everything which injures no one else. Hence, the exercise of the natural rights of each man has no limits except those which assure to the other members of the society the enjoyment of the same rights. These limits can only be determined by law. 5. Law can only prohibit such actions as are hurtful to society. Nothing may be prevented which is not forbidden by law, and no one may be forced to do anything not provided for by law. 6. Law is the expression of the general will. Every citizen has a right to participate personally or through his representative in its foundation. It must be the same for all, whether it protects or punishes. All citizens, being equal in the eyes of the law, are equally eligible to all dignities and to all public positions and occupations, according to their abilities, and without distinction except that of their virtues and talents. 7. No person shall be accused, arrested, or imprisoned, except in the cases and according to the forms prescribed by law. Anyone soliciting, transmitting, executing, or causing to be executed any arbitrary order shall be punished, but any citizen summoned or arrested in virtue of the law shall submit without delay, as resistance constitutes an offense. I've calmed down and I picked up my steam now, children. Observe. 8. The law shall provide for such punishments only as are strictly and obviously necessary, and no one shall suffer punishment except to be legally inflicted in virtue of a law passed and promulgated before the commission of the offense. 9. As all persons are held innocent until they shall have been declared guilty, if arrest shall be deemed indispensable, all harshness not essential to the securing of the prisoner's person shall be severely repressed by law. 10. No one shall be disquieted on account of his opinions, including his religious views, provided their manifestation does not disturb the public order established by law. There's only 17 of these, folks. 11. The free communication of ideas and opinions is one of the most precious of the rights of man. Every citizen may, accordingly, speak, write, and print with freedom, but shall be responsible for such abuses of this freedom as shall be defined by law. 12. The security of the rights of man and of the citizen requires public military forces. These forces are, therefore, established for the good of all, and not for the personal advantage of those to whom they shall be entrusted. 13. A common contribution is essential for the maintenance of the public forces and for the cost of administration. These should be equitably distributed among all the citizens in proportion to their means. 14. All the citizens have a right to decide, either personally or by their representatives, as to the necessity of the public contribution, to grant this freely, to know to what uses it is put, and to fix the proportion, the mode of assessment, and of collection, and the duration of the taxes. 15. Society has the right to require of every public agent an account of his administration. 16. A society in which the observance of the law is not assured, nor the separation of powers defined, has no constitution at all. 17. Since property is an inviolable and sacred right, no one shall be deprived thereof, except where public necessity, legally determined, shall clearly demand it, and then only on condition that the owner shall have been previously and equitably indemnified. It's not the most inspirational document I've ever read aloud. As a matter of fact, I do think the Declaration of Independence, which was made in part to incite folks into support and, emotional outpour, is certainly more inspirational than that. I can't speak for many other documents that are not of English nature due to historical emphasis. American history classes tend to hammer in a lot of history. And my other history classes don't really focus that much on speeches per se. Though, I've read a few in my day. But yeah, the reason why I picked that is because it directly ties into the next Let's Get On With It adventure on which I'll be embarking. I was trying to avoid another preposition ending sentence. That's also for SKS. I am hoping he realizes the significance. Perhaps some of you shall as well. If you do not, all will be revealed in due time, I promise. And I will relish it. I also promise that. So thank you all for joining me on this wonderful video expedition. Yeah. I'm sure some of you really love being read to in your vlogs, but, I didn't exactly promise insanity. I promised me. Entertainment may come along, or it may not. Leave your comments and your thumbs as you will, and I shall commune with you all in my next video, and maybe I'll make another one of these. Till then, doodaloo. You did record all that, didn't you? You better have.